Magandang buhay mga bata! Tara, samahan ninyo akong matuto kasama si
Teacher Aika, your online teacher. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell for more videos. Thank you! Revised K-12 Curriculum, PE and Health, Grade 5. Quarter 2, Lesson 4 to 8. Our topic for today is about physical activity participation, net or wall games. This is Teacher Aika, your online teacher. Let's start! Learning competencies and objectives. Perform physical activities using net or wall game concepts with agility, balance, and coordination for active living. A. Locomotor skills by avoiding an object or obstacles. And B. Manipulative skills by sending or propelling an object to an intended area. Objectives. A. Enhance their understanding of movement concepts, specifically focusing on the relationship between individuals and objects within the game environment, fostering spatial awareness and adaptability. B. Develop and refine their movement skills, including locomotor, non-locomotor, and manipulative skills, thereby improving their ability to execute game strategies effectively. C. Participate in net or wall games emphasizing fitness concepts such as agility, balance, coordination, and speed. D. Engage in moderate to vigorous physical activities or MVPA, promoting overall physical fitness levels. Contents: focus foundational skills, movement concept, relationship with people and object, movement skills, locomotor, non-locomotor, manipulative, fitness concepts, agility, balance, coordination, and speed, intensity, moderate to vigorous physical activities or MVPA. Game concepts: positioning or people and location in space. Relationship to objects: striking, attack, blocking or receiving, defend. Suggested activities: games, pickleball, wall ball, and ringo. Day 1. Let's have a short review. Locomotor warm-up exercise. Instruction: find a safe space and get ready to listen carefully. When the teacher says a specific movement like walking or skipping, copy and try your best. Watch where you're going and stay safe. Sample movements. Number 1, march in place. Begin by marching in place, lifting knees high and swinging arms in rhythm with the steps. Encourage participants to engage their core muscles and keep a steady pace. Number 2, side steps. Move to the side with quick, small steps, maintaining a low stance and keeping the body facing forward. Alternate stepping to the left and right to increase mobility in the hips. Number 3, high knees. Lift knees up towards the chest while moving forward, alternating legs in a marching motion. Focus on lifting the knees as high as possible while maintaining balance and stability. Number 4, butt kicks. Jog in place while kicking heels up towards the glutes, alternating legs with each kick. Emphasize a quick and controlled movement to warm up the hamstrings. Number 5, grapevine. Step to the side with one foot, cross the other foot behind. Then step to the side again with the first foot and bring the second foot to meet it. Repeat in the opposite direction, crossing behind with the opposite foot. This movement helps to improve coordination and agility. Number 6, skip. Skip in place or move forward with skipping motion, alternating between legs. Encourage participants to swing their arms in coordination with the skipping motion for added momentum. Number 7, karaoke. Cross one foot over the other in front while stepping to the side. Then step out with the trailing foot and cross it behind the lead foot, continuing in a sideways direction. Repeat in the opposite direction. This movement helps to loosen up the hips and improve agility. Number 8, jogging. Finish the warm-up routine with a few minutes of light jogging to increase heart rate and circulation throughout the body. Lesson purpose. Activity number 1. Navigate and collaborate. Spatial awareness game. Materials. Open space in the classroom or designated area. Optional, cones or markers to designate boundaries. Instructions. Students will be scattered and stand inside the classroom. The teacher will say, "Move." Begin walking around the space, being mindful to avoid colliding with classmates or any objects. Then, the teacher will say, "Stop," and the students will stop moving. Students who collide and touch each other will be out of the game. Let them continue the activity until a few students remain in the game. Pay close attention to the surroundings and adjust movements accordingly. Remember to move safely and responsibly. Ready? Move! Post-activity guide questions. Number 1. What strategies did you use to navigate the space safely and avoid collisions with your classmates and objects? Answer. The strategies I used to move safely were looking around carefully, keeping space between me and my classmates, walking toward open areas, and listening to the teacher's cues so I could stop quickly. Number 2, how did communication with your peers help or hinder your ability to coordinate movements during the activity? Possible answer, communication helped me by using eye contact, quick words, and small signals to show where I was going. But sometimes it was hard when people did not listen or when too many talked at the same time. Number 3, reflect on a challenging moment during the activity. What did you learn from the experience and how might you approach a similar situation differently in the future? Possible answer, a challenging moment was when I got stuck between two classmates and bumped shoulders, and I learned that it is better to slow down, choose a clear path, and communicate earlier so that I can avoid the same problem in the future. Unlocking content vocabulary. Net or wall games. Net or wall games are games in which players send an object, example, ball or shuttle, over a net or against a wall so that it lands in an area that an opponent is defending. Propelling. Using force to move something forward, like hitting a ball with a racket or paddle to make it go fast. Topic number 1. Movement concepts, movement skills, fitness concepts, game concepts in net or wall games. Activity number 2, find my match. Net and wall game concept matching activity. Instructions, You will work with a partner or by yourself. Look at the matching board and find the two columns, one with concepts and one with descriptions. Read each card carefully and match the correct concept with its description. Place the cards side by side on the board, and if you are working with a partner, make sure to talk and agree before putting the cards together. Activity number 2, find my match, neck and wall game concept matching activity. Number 1, propelling. Answer A. Using force to move something forward like hitting a ball with a racket or paddle to make it go fast. Number 2, positioning. Answer E. Knowing where to stand or move on the court to be in the best place to play offense or defense. It's like figuring out the best spot to be during a game. Number 3, striking or attacked. Answer C. Hitting the ball with a racket, paddle, or hand to send it towards your proponent. Number 4, blocking. Answer D. Using your racket, paddle, or hand to stop the ball from going past you and reaching your side of the court. It's like putting up a barrier to protect your area. Number 5, receiving or defend. Answer B. Catching or hitting the ball that's coming towards you from your opponent. It's like being ready to catch a ball or hit it back when it comes your way. Day 2. Propelling or handling. Stance. Stand with feet shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, and body weight evenly distributed. Footwork. Step into the shot with a non-dominant foot while maintaining balance. Rotate the body and transfer weight onto the front foot to generate power. Follow through with the shot, allowing the body to rotate naturally. Striking or attack. Stance. Adopts a balanced and athletic stance with feet shoulder width apart, knees bent, and body facing the direction of the shot. Footwork. Step into the shot with a non-dominant foot, leading with the hips and shoulders. Transfer weight onto the front foot as you swing the racket or paddle, generating power from the legs and core. Pivot on the back foot to follow through with the shot. Blocking. Stance. Assume a stable and balanced stance with feet shoulder width apart, knees bent, and body slightly forward. Footwork. Anticipate the opponent's shot and move quickly into position using short, controlled steps. Plant the feet firmly and square to the direction of the shot with weight evenly distributed. Use small adjustments in footwork to angle the racket or paddle and direct the ball back to the opponent. Receiving or defend. Stance. Position yourself in a ready stance with feet shoulder width apart, knees bent, and body weight centered. Footwork. React quickly to the opponent's shot by moving into position with short, quick steps. Adjust the stance and footwork based on the trajectory and speed of the incoming ball. Use lateral movement to cover the court effectively and maintain balance while preparing to return the shot. C. Supervised practice. Work by group. Propelling, you will practice your stance and footwork by hitting a ball against a wall. Remember to transfer your weight from your back foot to your front foot and follow through with your shot. Striking or attack. Students work on their stance and footwork for striking by rallying with a partner or hitting a ball against a wall. Emphasize the importance of proper positioning and timing. Blocking. Students practice their stance and footwork for blocking by reacting to balls thrown or hit towards them. Instruct them to maintain a stable stance and move quickly into position to intercept the ball. Receiving or defend. Students work on their stance and footwork for receiving by moving to intercept balls thrown or hit towards them. Focus on agility and quick lateral movement. D. Movement Analysis Workshop. Number 1. Which parts of your body did you use the most during the movement, and how did they help you? Possible answer. I used my legs and arms the most during the movement because my legs help me stay balanced and move quickly, while my arms help me push, hit, or guide the ball. Number 2, did you find any part of the movement challenging? What could you do to make it easier next time? Possible answer, I found it challenging to move fast while keeping my balance, and I think I can make it easier next time by practicing more and focusing on smaller controlled steps. Number 3, did you notice if your body stayed in a good position while doing the movement? How could you improve your posture? Answer, sometimes my body did not stay in a good position because I leaned too much. So I can improve my posture by keeping my back straighter and bending my knees instead of my waist. Number 4, how did you move from one step of the movement to the next? Was it smooth or a bit tricky? Possible answer, I moved from one step to the next a little slowly at times, so it was not always smooth, and I can improve by planning my next move earlier and practicing my footwork more. Day 3 to 5. Worked example. Drills to improve skills needed in playing net or wall game. Activity number 3, net and wall game skills circuit drill. Materials needed, cones or markers to designate stations. Rackets, paddles or hands for striking. Tennis balls, foam balls or similar for practice. And stopwatch or timer. Activity area. Set up a circuit of stations in a designated area such as a gymnasium or outdoor court. Place cones or markers to designate each station and ensure adequate spacing between them. Assign each station or specific skill related to net and wall games. Instructions. First, you will be divided into small groups and each group will start at a different station. Second, you will rotate through the stations in the circuit, spending a set amount of time at each one before moving to the next. Third, when I signal the start, you will begin the first round. Fourth, at each station, you will perform the given skill or activity for about 1 to 2 minutes. Fifth, after finishing, you will move to the next station and continue until you have completed all the stations. Circuit stations. Propelling station. You will hit the ball against a target, such as a wall or marked area, using a racket, paddle, or your hand, and focus on control and accuracy. Positioning station. You will move around a marked area on the court and practice placing yourself in the right spot in relation to the ball and your opponent, using cones to guide offensive and defensive positions. Striking or attack station. You will practice hitting the ball strongly toward the opponent's side of the court, focusing on your timing, power, and the placement of your shots. Blocking station. You will stand in the blocking zone and practice stopping or deflecting incoming shots by positioning your body and racket or paddle correctly. Receiving or defense station. You will practice receiving shots from your opponent and returning them with control and accuracy, while working on quick reflexes, hand-eye coordination, and defensive positioning. Collective discourse. Work by group. After doing the different drills or practice, pose the following questions. Guide questions. Which station did you find most challenging and what strategies did you use to overcome any difficulties you encountered? Possible answer. The station I found most challenging was the blocking station because it was hard to react quickly to the ball, but I overcame it by keeping my eyes on the ball, bending my knees to stay ready, and moving faster to the right position. Reflecting on the circuit drill, how do you think practicing skills like propelling, positioning, striking, blocking, and receiving will help improve your performance in net and wall games? Possible answer, practicing skills like propelling, positioning, striking, blocking, and receiving will help me improve in net and wall games because they make me more accurate, faster, and more aware of where to stand and how to react, which gives me a better chance to play well and win. What was the most valuable lesson or skill you learned during the circuit drill, and how do you plan to apply it to your future practice sessions or gameplay? Possible answer, the most valuable lesson I learned during the circuit drill was the importance of good positioning, and I plan to apply it by always watching the ball carefully and moving it to the best spot quickly so I can be ready for any play in my future practice and games. Day 6 to 8. Activity number 4, Wall Ball Game. Wall ball is a simple yet engaging game that can be played with just a ball and a wall. The game typically involves one or more players standing in front of a wall and bouncing a ball against it, aiming to keep the ball in play for as long as possible. There are many variations of wall ball, and rules can be adopted depending on the preferences of the players. Here's a basic overview of how the game is played. Equipment. All you need is a rubber ball and a sturdy wall. The ball can vary in size and bounce depending on personal preference. Setting up. Choose a suitable wall to play against. It should be smooth and flat with enough space to move around. Make sure there are no obstacles or fragile items nearby that could be damaged by the ball. Players. Wall ball can be played individually or with multiple players. If playing with multiple players, decide on the order in which players will take turns. Gameplay. Number 1, the first player starts by throwing the ball against the wall. Number 2, after the ball bounces off the wall, the player must catch it before it touches the ground. Number 3, then they throw it against the wall again, aiming to keep the rally going. Rules. First, the ball must bounce off the wall before being caught. Second, players must catch the ball cleanly without fumbling or dropping it. Third, if a player fails to catch the ball or throws it inaccurately so that the next player cannot catch it, they receive a point. Fourth, the game continues until a predetermined point total is reached, or players decide on a time limit. Variations. Speed wall ball. Players take turns seeing how many times they can bounce the ball off the wall within a set time limit. Target wall ball. Draw a target on the wall and assign point values to different areas. Players aim to hit specific targets for points. Cooperative wall ball. Players work together to keep the ball in play for as long as possible, trying to beat a collective record. Activity number 5, improvised pickleball game. Pickleball game is a paddle sport that combines elements of tennis, badminton, and table tennis. It is played both indoors and outdoors on a badminton-sized court with a low net. The game can be played in singles or doubles format. Here's an overview of how pickleball is played. Equipment. Paddles. If pickleball paddles aren't available, you can use alternative items such as wooden boards, large books, or even sturdy plastic leads. Ball. Use a lightweight plastic balls, such as a wiffle ball or a plastic ball from another sport like table tennis. Court. You can mark out a makeshift court using chalk, tape, or simply designate boundaries using natural landmarks or objects. Pickleball gameplay. Court setup. Designate a playing area with boundaries similar to a pickleball court. You can use existing lines or landmarks to define the court's boundaries. Serve. Begin the game with one player serving diagonally to the opponent's service court. The server must serve underhand and make contact with the ball below their waist. Return or serve. The receiving player must allow the ball to bounce once before returning it. The returner's partner must also wait until the return has been made before they can volley. Volleying. Players can volley the ball or hit it in the air without letting it bounce, as long as they are not standing in a designated no-volley zone, such as a line or marker on the ground. Pickleball gameplay. Scoring. Points are scored only by the serving team. Games can be played to a predetermined score, such as 11 points, and the winning team must win by at least 2 points. Faults. Similar to traditional pickleball, common faults include stepping into the no-volley zone to volley, volleying before the ball has bounced once, serving out of turn, and hitting the ball out of bounds. Adaptations and variations. Equipment substitutes. Get creative with your paddle substitutes. Just make sure they are sturdy enough to hit the ball without breaking. Court size. Adjust the size of the playing area based on available space and the number of players. You can play on a smaller scale if needed. Rule modifications. Modify rules as necessary to suit the skill level and preferences of the players. For example, you might allow double bounces or eliminate the no-volley zone for younger players or beginners. Learners' takeaways. Self-assessment checklist. Start by thinking about how you played wall ball and pickleball. Look at each time on the checklist and decide if it describes your performance well. Check the boxes that match how you feel about your skills and actions during the game. Self-assessment checklist. First, locomotor skills. Second, manipulative skills. Third, agility. Fourth, balance. Fifth, coordination. Sixth, speed. Seventh, spatial awareness. Eighth, positioning. Ninth, striking or attack. 10. Blocking and receiving or defense. Reflection on learning. Which game did you find more challenging and why? Possible answer. The game I found more challenging was pickleball because it was harder to control the paddle and aim the ball compared to just bouncing it off the wall. Did playing these games improve your coordination, reflexes, or other skills? How? Possible answer. Playing these games improved my coordination and reflexes because I had to move quickly, watch the ball closely, and time my hits correctly so I could keep the play going. Think about the challenges you faced while playing wall ball and pickleball. How did you overcome these challenges and what did you learn from them? How can facing challenges help you grow as a person? Possible answer. When I played wall ball and pickleball, some challenges I faced were missing the ball and not being in the right position. But I overcame them by practicing more, watching the ball carefully, and moving faster. I learned that facing challenges can help me grow as a person because it teaches me to be patient, to keep trying, and to never give up even when something feels difficult. Formative assessment, practicum, graded game, team competition. Each team will play against each other according to the chosen mode of tournament, single elimination or round robin. Recall the rules and play off the game. The team with the most wins will be the champion.
Maraming salamat sa panonood! Huwag kalimutang i-like at mag-subscribe para sa higit pang educational content. I-click ang bell icon para ma-update ka sa ating mga bagong video. Salamat!